it's about time, so let's get started. Welcome, everyone, to doing this for quite a while now, I think. Week 6 of yoga or something? I don't know. Anyway, it's bringing me so much joy to do this, and yeah, just thank you for everyone who's making it regularly or occasionally. Okay, so sitting yourself up either cross-legged or on your knees, and just take a moment to really set up a nice sitting posture. So tilt your pelvis forwards ever so slightly, so to maintain the lumbar curve. Draw the low belly in and up, lift your chest, roll the shoulders down and back. And just rest your hands gently on your thighs. And close your eyes. And we'll just take a few moments to arrive in your body, arrive with your breath. And we can do a quick body scan, so bringing your awareness down into your toes, your feet, your ankles, up through the shins, the knees and the thighs. Just noticing any areas of tension, any pain you might be experiencing. Not to judge it or criticize it, not even to change it, but just to become aware of it and to notice it as a pattern of energy, beyond or before any concepts that we might have of good or bad. Just coming to it with a curious attention. And then continuing, bringing your awareness into the pelvis, feeling the weight of the pelvis grounding down onto the floor or the cushion. And bringing your awareness up through your torso, into your shoulders, down through the arms, into your hands. Feeling the contact between your hands and the legs. And then bring your awareness up into your neck and head. Relaxing the facial muscles, your jaw, your tongue, your lips. Relax your eyes and your eyebrows. Soften the forehead. And then we take 3 deep, intentional breaths together. So as you inhale, breathing right down deep into the abdomen, really using the diaphragm. And exhale, feel the sitting bones drop down into the earth once more. And inhale, breathe wide into the sides and the back of the rib cage. And exhale, allow the shoulders to relax down and back. And then inhale one more time, right down deep into the belly, out into the sides and the back of the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the lungs. And exhale, relax, let it go. Let your day so far go and set an intention to be here with your body on the mat for the next hour. Okay, and then open your eyes, interlace your hands in front of your chest, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, push the palms away. Tips of the thumbs are touching, little fingers are crossed, draw your belly in and up. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, start to move the arms in the shoulder sockets, keeping that engagement with the lower abdomen, so not allowing yourself to go even slightly into a back bend here, but really finding the movement in the shoulder sockets. If you're very tight in the shoulders, that might mean your hands are here. That's fine. And once you've found your full range of motion in the shoulders, start to extend up, lengthening the sides of the torso using the arms. Squeeze your upper arms in together as you resist away with the wrists, keeping the breath flowing in and out. And then really lengthening up out of the waist as much as you can, feeling that stretch down the side of the body, from the hips all the way up to the wrists. And slowly release your hands and release your legs. Stretch them out in front. If you're cross-legged, you can stay on your knees if you're on your knees. And then cross your legs the other way. So bring your other shin in front. And again, take a moment to set up your seating posture. So tilt your pelvis forward slightly, draw the belly in and up, lift the chest, roll the shoulders down and back. And rest your hands gently on your legs for a moment. And then interlace your hands the other way. So whichever way you habitually do it, switch your grip. Take a breath in and breathing out, push the palms away. Tips of the thumbs touching, little fingers crossed, arms are straight, belly in. Take another inhale, and on the exhale, again, stabilizing the torso, just turning in the shoulder sockets, lifting all the way up. And then once you're at your maximum range in the shoulders, start to lift and lengthen, lifting up out of the waist. Feel the rib cage lifting up away from the pelvis. Keep the belly drawing in. Squeezing your upper arms towards your ears as you resist away with the heels of the hands. Really, really active here. Keep the breath flowing in and out through the nose. Lift up one more time. And then slowly release your arms and release your legs. And we'll come to a standing position. Okay, so standing with your feet together, bring your awareness down into the soles of your feet, and noticing the contact between your feet and the floor. Noticing perhaps if there's more weight in the front or the back of the feet. And then ground down through the heel of the right foot, pick the ball of the foot up, stretch it forwards, and bring the toes down, spreading them nice and wide. Ground down through the heel of the left foot, pick the ball up, and spread the toes nice and wide. Then bring your body weight back over your heels. Engage your quadriceps so that the kneecaps lift up. Draw your low belly in and up and lift these front points of the pelvis up a little bit. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders down and back, and extend the fingertips down to the floor. Nice wide palms. Everyone can turn their palms facing out, so externally rotating in the shoulders, really finding a lot of broadness across the chest here, and then keeping that rotation in the shoulders. Just allow the hands to come back to face the body. This is Tadasana, the foundation of all the standing poses. We come back to this in between the other standing postures, so remember this feeling. And then take an inhale, and as you exhale, extend your arms out to the side or in front of you if you don't have room out to the side. Keep the belly drawing in and up, chest lifted. Turn the arms in the shoulder sockets. Take another breath in, and as you breathe out, extend all the way up. Again, really lift using the arms, so lengthening the sides of the torso using the arms. Check in, do you still have your foundation? So body weight still back over the heels, kneecaps lifted, belly in and up, chest lifted, and then lengthen. Imagine you're hanging from the ceiling. How long would you be? Keep the breath flowing in and out softly through the nose. And then keeping that lift in the spine, just allow the arms to come down, relax the shoulders, and bring them down to the side. Okay, bend your knees and step or hop your feet to a wide stride for the second warrior pose. Begin with 2 heels in one line, outside edges of the feet parallel, body weight back over the heels, kneecaps lifted. Lift the front of the pelvis, so especially once we go into a wide leg position, there's a real tendency to extend the lower back. So keep that pelvis lifted, draw the belly in, and outstretch the arms. Turn your left foot in slightly and your right foot out all the way. Inside edge of the right foot parallel with the long edge of the mat. Now, as we go into this, mind in the back foot. So really push that left heel down, keep this quadricep engaged. And as we start to bend the right knee, really keep the engagement resisting back with this leg. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, sitting down to the right, but keep that back leg active, resisting back. Torso staying directly above the hips, so you're not leaning out to the side. And have a look down at your right knee and check it's not falling in. Push it back to the little toe side of the foot so you can see your big toe past your knee. Finally, turn your head to look along your right arm, gazing at a single point. Lift your chest a little bit and relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Extend both arms evenly, see if you can feel an even stretch across the chest and the upper back. And again, take the mind to the back foot, the left foot again, push that heel down, see if you can lift the inner arch a little bit, lift the quadricep, keep that kneecap lifted, and then keeping that engagement, see if you can sit down a little bit more into that right leg. Low belly drawing in and up, chest still lifted. Breath flowing smoothly. Sit down one more time. And then bring your gaze to the front. Straighten your right leg, turn your right foot round and rest your arms for a moment. Check you've still got 2 heels in one line. Outside edges of the feet parallel. Okay, we go to the other side. So turn your right foot in a little bit and your left foot out all the way. Outstretch the arms. Again, mind focused on the back foot. So really push that right heel down, engage this quadricep. 4 corners of the torso now still facing pretty much the front. Draw the belly in and up, lift the chest. Keep the mind in the back foot as you slowly sit down to the left, really active through this right leg throughout. Have a look down at your left knee, check it's not falling in, push it out towards the little toe side of the foot. And check your spine is still coming straight up from your pelvis, so you're not leaning over to the side. Lift the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Finally, turn your head to look along your left arm, gazing at a single point. Really stretch the fingers wide and long, so active right the way through to the hands, and lengthening both arms away from you, so you're stretching across the chest and the upper back. Draw the low belly in, lift the chest up one more time as you relax the shoulders down. Again, mind to the back foot, push that heel down one more time, see if you can lift the inner arch, keep the kneecap lifted as you sit down a little bit more to the left, keeping the breath flowing smooth and steady in and out through the nose. Sit down just a little bit more and then bring your gaze to the front. Straighten your left leg, feet to the front, and step or hop back to mountain pose. Spread your toes, body weight back, lift your chest, roll the shoulders down and back. Okay, extended side angle pose, same legs, so going nice and wide so that you've got enough room to properly bend your knee, body weight back over the heels, Kneecaps lifted, lift the front of the pelvis, lift the chest. Hands on your hips, draw your elbows back behind you, really open across the chest here. Turn the left foot in slightly and the right foot out 90 degrees, inside edge of the foot parallel with the mat. Now your tendency is going to be that your body starts turning this way. See if you can keep the four corners of the torso facing the front. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, sit down, bending that knee, back leg nice and strong. Really push that heel down and keep the quadricep lifted. From here, bring your right elbow to your right knee. Use the elbow to push the knee back. Draw the belly in and start to turn the tummy, turn the chest up towards the ceiling. Take the top arm up and over, palm facing down, and extend, lengthening down the whole side of the body. You can either keep your right elbow on your right knee, or you can bring it down behind the right foot with just the fingertips touching the floor, no weight on that hand. If your hand is down, push your right knee into your right elbow, draw that belly in, and again turn the tummy and the chest up towards the ceiling, extending through to the fingertips. Check your left leg is still really active, lifting that kneecap up. Keep the breath flowing, gazing up towards the ceiling as well if you like. Sitting down a little bit more. And then bring your gaze to the front. Keep your right knee bent and come up with the body. And then straighten the leg. Turn your feet back to face the front, hands on hips, elbows back. And we'll go to the other side. So turn your right foot in slightly and your left foot out 90 degrees. Check your inside edge of the foot is parallel with the long edge of the mat. Elbows back, open across the chest, torso facing the front. Inhale, lift your chest, mind in the back foot as you sit down to the left, resisting back with this right leg. Have a look at your knee, check it's not falling in, push it back, draw the belly in as you bring your left elbow to your left knee. Again, you can use that elbow to push the knee back, really find that external rotation in the hip. Start to turn the tummy and the chest up towards the ceiling. Take the top arm up and over and extend the fingertips away. And again, you can keep your elbow here on the knee, or you can bring it down to the floor, just dancing the fingertips on the floor, no weight on them. Push the push the knee back into the elbow. Draw the belly in, turn the tummy and the chest up, and extend through those right fingertips. This is extended side angle pose, so you should feel that stretch all down the right side of your body now. Draw the belly in, turn the torso up to the ceiling one more and sit down a little bit more. Then bring your gaze to the front, keep the left knee bent, come up, find warrior two, and then straighten that leg, turn your feet round, and step or hop back to mountain pose. Let the posture go, bring your body weight back over your heels, lift your chest, and extend the fingertips down to the floor. And breathe. Okay, bring your feet to a hip distance for chair pose. Turn the toes in ever so slightly so that the outside edges of the feet are parallel. Find mountain pose legs, so body weight back, engage those quadriceps, lift the front of the pelvis. Either bring your hands onto your hips and draw your elbows back and do the posture like that, or take the arms up above your head, lengthening up towards the ceiling with the palms facing in towards each other. Draw the belly in, inhale, lift up out of the waist, and exhale, sit straight down. Excuse my clicky ankles. Keeping your knees tracking directly above the ankles, so no in or out with the knees. Just have a look down, check they're directly in line, and then sit down a little bit more. Draw that belly towards the spine and lift the chest up. Draw the arms back if they're above your head, and find Should be a bit of a back bend here. So really lifting that chest up. Body weight through the heels. So see if you can sit back on the heels a little bit more. Sit your hips down a little bit more. Draw that belly strongly in. Lift your chest one more time. And then come back up to standing. Step your feet together and bring your arms down. Okay, we go again with feet together. So again, arms up overhead or on the hips with the elbows drawing back, whichever you prefer. Body weight back over the heels. Draw the belly in, lift the chest. And as we sit down, really keep the mind in the heels. See if you can keep the body weight back there as you sit. Again, drawing that belly in, lifting the chest up a little bit more. Keeping the breath flowing. Sit down one more, lift the chest more. And then stand up all the way. Bring the arms down and find mountain pose, body weight back, chest lifted, extending your fingers down to the floor. And breathe, inhaling, lifting up through the crown of the head, and exhaling, extending the fingers down. Okay, warrior one, hands on hips, bend your knees and step or hop to a medium stride. Draw the elbows back, open across the chest. Pick up the left toes and turn them in. Pick up the left heel and turn it out so your foot is at about a 45-degree angle. And then straight away start to push that heel down and really engage through this quadricep. As you turn the right foot out all the way. If you struggle with the balance, walk your foot out a little bit so that you've got a bit of a wider stance. And then squeeze your inner thighs together as if you're trying to grip something between your inner thighs, bringing that, left hip round to the front, squaring the hips now to the front of your mat. Really engage your left glute, so squeeze that glute, push the tailbone down, lengthen the lower back. Inhale, take the arms up above the head, palms facing in towards each other. Draw the belly in and lift up out of the waist, really lengthen the whole upper body. Take the mind to the back foot, push that heel down, engage the quadricep and keep it really, really strongly resisting back as you bend your right knee. Sitting down as far as you can without losing the contact of the back heel and the mat. Again, a bit of that action of squeezing the inner thighs together. Squeeze the left glute, working the tailbone down. And you can either hold it here or you can go into a bit of a back bend. If so, lift up out of the waist and then slowly trace your fingertips along the ceiling, lifting up before you go back. Really focusing on lengthening the body. Make sure your back leg is still really strong. Ground down through the ball of the big toe joint on the right foot to help with your balance. And then slowly bring your torso back to a neutral position. Reset a moment and we're going to go into warrior three. So we're going to lengthen the body forwards, drawing the belly towards the spine, transfer the weight to the front leg, and then lift your back leg up. If you need to hold on to something here, feel free to do so. Draw the belly in, turn your, I'm having a wobble, turn your left hip down towards the floor, trying to square the hips with the floor, turn the toes down, draw the belly towards the spine, upper body down a little bit more, leg up a little bit more. Keeping the breath flowing. And then gazing at a single point, belly to spine, slowly start to tilt back, landing your left foot on the floor. Find your warrior one. Straighten your right leg, turn your feet round, and bring your arms down. Reset your feet, check you've still got 2 heels in one line. And then bring your hands to your hips, draw the elbows back, and we go to the other side. So pick up the right toes and turn them in, pick up the right heel and turn it out, and start to activate through that back heel, push it down, engage the quadricep. Turn your left foot out all the way, and again, make your stance a little bit wider if you need to. Squeeze your inner thighs together, bringing that right hip round, push the tailbone down by really activating through the right glute, draw your belly in and up, heel, back heel still pushing down, engaging through this quadricep, and then take the arms up above your head. Draw your belly in and lengthen out of the waist. Keep the back heel pushing down as you bend your left knee. Sitting down as much as you can without losing the contact of that back heel. And again, squeeze your inner thighs together, bring your right hip forward, left hip back. Squeeze that right glute, lengthen the tailbone down. And then you can either hold it here, or you can take it into a back bend if you're going into a back bend. Lift up out of the waist, lengthen the torso, and then slowly start to trace the fingertips along the ceiling. Every time you go back another centimeter, lift up a little bit more, and then go back a little bit more, lengthening the whole front body. Still push that back heel down, ground down through the ball of the big toe joint of the left foot, squeeze the inner thighs together, belly to spine. And then bring your torso back to neutral. Again, squeeze your inner thighs together, gaze at a single point in front of you, draw your belly to spine, and start to lean forwards over your front leg. Transfer the weight onto that front foot. Lift up your right leg. And again, if you need to hold on to something here, feel free to do so. And either way, trying to square the pelvis down. Lift your back foot as you bring the upper body down more. Belly button to spine. And then gaze at a single point as you start to tilt back. Re-find your warrior one. Straighten your left leg, turn your feet round, and bring your arms down and your feet together. And breathe, body weight back, chest lifted, roll the shoulders down. Let the posture go. Okay, step your feet to a hip width distance. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see what I'm doing, but you guys can obviously stay facing the front. Again, we're going to have either hands on hips or arms up above your head, depending on how much you want to challenge yourself. Turn your toes in slightly so that the outside edges of the feet are parallel. If you've got very tight hamstrings or medium tight hamstrings or just normal hamstrings, bring your feet at a bit of a generous hip distance. So a little bit actually wider than hip distance. It's going to just make it a little bit easier for you. Body weight back over the heels, engage the quadriceps, lift the front of the pelvis, arms up overhead or hands on your hips with the elbows back. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, come down as far as you can without rounding through the lower back, drawing the belly towards the spine, engage the quadriceps, and stretch the upper body forwards. Imagine someone's got hold of your sternum and is pulling it forwards, keeping those legs engaged. Now we're going to inhale up and exhale down, and just doing this with the rhythm of your own breath. So faster or slower than me as you see fit, keeping the legs straight throughout and really keeping the spine in a neutral position. So if you're only coming down to here, that's fine, but focusing on finding the movement in the pelvis. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Each time you're at the top as well, lifting up out of the waist so that you can really lengthen forwards as you come down. Just a couple more, wherever you're at. And then stopping at the top of the movement. And bring your arms down and your feet together. Go into a wide leg forward bend. So hands on hips, step or hop your feet to a wide stride. Again, if you're tight in your hamstrings, go as wide as you comfortably can. It's going to bring the floor closer to you. And then turn your toes in even more than usual so that you've got actually slightly pigeon-toed feet. Body weight back over the heels, engage the quadriceps, lift the front of the pelvis, hands on hips, draw the belly in, lift up out of the waist, and then keeping that long front body, so no collapsing of the front body at all. Start to slowly come down as far as you can, keeping your spine in a neutral position. Take your mind back to the legs, push the heel down, see if you can lift the inner arches up, so it's a bit of a external rotation of the feet, engaging through the quadriceps. And then everyone come down to the so you have your fingertips on the floor, remaining, if you can, in a little bit of a back bend. If when we do this, you find that your lower back is round here with the fingertips on the floor, I want you to walk your hands forwards. I'm probably going out of shot now, but walk your hands forwards like really, really far, almost like you're doing like a wide-legged downward dog, until you can get your lower back in a neutral position. Finding a place where, your back is in a neutral position and you're finding a stretch in the back of the legs. If you're here and you can come down further without rounding the back, start to lengthen the lowest rib a little bit closer towards the floor, so remaining in a back bend. You can come down onto your flat hands and maybe walk the elbows back if you wish, finding whatever is a good stretch for you. Again, engaging through the quadriceps. If your head is on the floor, work your shoulders up away from your ears. And lengthening your exhale, turning your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then draw your belly into the spine. Everyone come back onto the fingertips, gaze forward. Take a few deep breaths here, so really feel your lungs. And start to heel toe your feet in until you can comfortably come up with a flat back. And bring your feet together. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders down and back. Okay, come to the top edge of your mat if you're not already there. One more time, inhale the arms up out of the waist, belly in. Lift up and coming down, bend your knees as much as you need to to get your stomach on your thighs and your chest on your knees, so you might be squatting down quite a lot here. Relax the head, maybe give it a shake. And again, just lengthening your exhale. And then step your feet back to a plank position. We'll stay here, not just for a bit, but for about 30 seconds initially. So engage your quadriceps and squeeze your glutes, so turn your tailbone down, draw the belly in towards the spine, push the floor away, shoulder blades are protracted, head in line, and keep the breath flowing. Really spreading the fingers, pushing the heels away. And then drop your knees and come to an all fours position. Might have been longer than 30 seconds. I sort of forgot what time I was looking at the watch. I should probably just stick with saying a bit, to be honest with you. And then we'll just do a couple of cat-cows here. So starting in a neutral position, push the floor away, start to draw the belly in towards the spine, turn the tailbone down, and see if you can what's the word I'm looking for? Move each bit of your spine individually. That's not a word. The word that I'm looking for is not there for me. But anyway, starting from the tailbone and working up. So drawing the belly in, turning the tailbone down, start to round through the lower back, the mid back, upper back, finally allowing the head to come down. Hold it there for a moment, really push the floor away, spread your shoulder blades. And then take another breath in, keep the belly drawing in towards the spine, start to turn the tailbone up towards the ceiling, bringing the lumbar spine into extension. And then the thoracic spine, shoulder blades coming together. And finally gaze, coming forwards and up. Hold it there for a moment. And then again, draw the belly to the spine, start to turn the tailbone down towards the floor. Articulating through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. That is the word that I was looking for. Then again, turning the tailbone up, coming slowly into extension. Hold it there for a moment. And then return to your neutral spine. And then just drop back onto the heels, toes together, knees wide, and rest the forehead on the floor for a moment. And then draw the belly in and come back to your tabletop position. We're going to go into a downward dog from here. So take a moment just to really set everything up nicely. So have a look down at your hands, check that they are directly under your shoulders. Spread your fingers really wide and push the whole hand down in the floor. So when we go into down dog, sometimes this can happen where the base of the first knuckle comes up. So really imprint that knuckle down onto the floor. And then tuck your toes under, drop your hips back towards your heels. And for here, really start pushing your body weight back towards your heels using your arms. So really push your arms into the floor, see if you can get your hips back a little bit more. And then relax your head completely, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift the legs up, but keep the arms pushing back so the upper body doesn't move much at all, keeping the body weight pushing back towards the heels. Keep your knees bent and your heels up. And focus on turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling, finding a neutral split position in the spine. Push the floor away with the hands. Check that base of the first knuckle is still down on the floor. Relax your head. You can bend one knee and the other knee a little bit more if that feels good. And then draw the belly towards the spine, come forwards to your plank. Hold it there, push the floor away, squeeze the tailbone down, and then elbows in tight down to chaturanga. Drop your knees if you need to. Inhale, coming forwards to your up dog. Again, drop the hips if you need to, or just do cobra. Shoulders down, away from your ears, long neck. Legs are active, glutes are really, really active. And then push your way back to a downward dog. Breathing here, push the body weight back towards your feet. Come forwards to your plank, belly in, really push the floor away. Elbows in tight as you come down to your chaturanga, squeeze your glutes. Inhaling forwards to your up dog, shoulders away from your ears, lifting the chest, squeezing the tailbone down, and then push back to your downward dog. Bring your feet together and just drop your knees and come to child's pose with your toes and knees together. Relax the forehead on the floor, stack your hands if you need to, or bring your hands down either side of your feet, relax the shoulders. And you can use the pressure of your belly on your legs to send the breath into the back of the body. And then bring your hands forward again to come back to your kneeling position. Leave your knees and feet together. Go into a downward dog again, same thing. Push your hips back towards your heels, really active through the arms before you go anywhere. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, straighten the legs, but keep that upper body back. And then lift the right leg up towards the ceiling, extending the toes away, seeing if you can keep that hip square down towards the floor, belly in, still active through the arms. Inhale, stretch that toe away, and exhale, bring your right knee towards your right elbow, push the floor away, belly in. Inhale, back up to your split dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twisting across the body. Push the floor away. Inhale, up to split dog. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands. And come to a long lunge position. If you need to drop your back knee and untuck the toe, you can do so. Or if you want to be a bit more active, staying in this high lunge. If you're in the high lunge, straighten this back leg. So really push the quadricep up, pushing the heel back, draw the belly in. Inhale, lift up out of the waist. Still a little bit of that sense of squeezing the inner thighs together. And then bring your hands to the floor, either side of your foot. Drop your left knee if you haven't already. And everyone come to this kneeling lunge. So I want you to start in a position where your left thigh is vertical, so not here, but here. And then turn your tailbone down, so lifting the front of the pelvis up, and just that movement of tilting the pelvis, squeezing that left glute, you should start to feel a stretch down the front of the left hip flexor. Again, draw the belly to the spine and lift up out of the waist, and then keeping that downward movement of the tailbone, that squeezing forwards so that you can stretch the front of the left hip flexor. Just come forwards a little bit, but really, really active through that left glute throughout, and find the position where you're going to get a good stretch for that hip flexor. So for some people it's going to be more down, for some people you might already here be like, this is enough. Again, squeeze the thighs towards each other a little bit, take the arms up above the head, and then take your right hand onto your left upper arm and just lean out slightly to the right, lengthening that left side of the body. And then come back to neutral with the arms, and you can sink down a little bit now if that feels good to you. Still squeeze that left glute, really push the tailbone down, lift up out of the waist. And then bring the hands down either side of the foot. Tuck your left toes under. And then we go back to the split dog. So draw the belly in towards the spine before you lift your right foot up off the floor. Lift it up and back. Find your split dog for a moment. And then bring your right foot down. Drop your knees. Rest for just a moment in child's pose. Breathing into the back of the body. And then we'll go to the other side. So come back to your all fours position, knees together, push the floor away, tuck your toes under, drop your hips back to your heels, push with the arms. So start to activate, pushing the upper body back, and then really see if you can keep the upper body back like this as you just straighten the legs, turning in the hip sockets. And then inhale the left leg up towards the ceiling, trying to keep the pelvis square down to the mat. I like to spread my toes and really activate the whole foot here. Inhale, stretch that left toes away, and then exhale, bring your left knee towards your left elbow, push the floor away, belly in. And then inhale up. And exhale, across the body, left knee to right elbow, push the floor away, hold it if you can. And inhaling back up. And then exhaling, bring your foot in between your hands, take a couple of steps if you need to. And again, coming to either your high lunge or drop the back knee and untuck the toes, if that's better for you. If you're up in the high lunge, straighten your right leg. So engage this quadricep, push the heel away, squeeze the inner thighs together, and then inhale, take the arms up above the head, lift up out of the waist. Squeeze your right glute now. And then slowly bring the fingertips down, drop your right knee, untuck the toes, and again you might want to just walk that knee in a little bit so that you can have your right thigh now vertical. And start to turn the tailbone under, really squeezing that right glute now, feeling the stretch down the front of the right leg and hip flexor. Still a little bit of a sense of that inner thigh squeeze so that you can bring your right hip forwards a little bit. Then we're going to inhale the arms up above the head, lengthening up. You can take your left hand to your right elbow or upper arm and bring the body over to the left, lengthening the right side of your body. Keep that right glute really squeezing forwards. And then come back to neutral with the upper body, and you can sit down a little bit more. Keep that right glute really pushing down to maximize the stretch in the front of the hip flexor here. Belly in, chest lifted. And then bring your hands down either side of your foot. Tuck your right toes, push the heel back, straighten that leg, draw the belly in towards the spine, and take the left leg up and back. Find your split dog. And then bring the foot down, drop your knees, and again rest in child's pose. Bring the arms wherever you find most comfortable, so back by your heels, or keep them in front of you if you prefer. And really breathe into the back of the body. And then draw your belly towards the spine and start to roll up, restacking lower back, middle back, upper back, neck, then head. Roll the shoulders down and back. And then come forwards into your plank again, just for a bit. Push the floor away. Squeeze the glutes. Active through the quadriceps, drawing the belly up towards the spine. And then as slow as you can, or as slow as you like, or as quickly as you like, start to bring the body weight forwards and lower yourself down through chaturanga to the floor. If you need to come onto your knees, do so. If you need to just release down on the floor, then do so. But otherwise, holding it in chaturanga for a few breaths, active through the legs, squeeze the glutes, belly to spine, elbows in tight to the body. And then when you're ready, release all the way down to the floor. Tops of the feet on the floor, legs hip distance apart. Bring the hands back a little bit, either side of the chest, elbows in tight. Engage your quadriceps so your kneecaps pop up off the floor. Squeeze your glutes so you push your tailbone down into the floor. Belly in, roll a ball away with the chin, and start to curl up into your cobra pose. Little or no weight on the hands. Draw the elbows down and back as if you're trying to get your elbows to your hips. Legs are still really active. Keeping the breath flowing in and out through the nose. Lift up a little bit more if you can. And then slowly release down. Turn your head to one side, release your arms, release your legs, breathe into your back. And then bring your chin forwards, bring your palms face down on the floor. If you've got space either side of you, you can bring your arms out in line with your shoulders. Or if you're restricted for space like me, then just bring them evenly down either side of you. Bring your legs together. Engage the kneecaps again. Squeeze the glutes, draw the belly in, and then lift everything up off of the floor. Turn your palms forwards, open across the chest. Draw your fingertips either away from you or down towards your feet, opening across the chest. Squeeze the glutes as hard as you can. Lift your legs up a little bit more. Lift your chest up a little bit more. Smile, relax your forehead. Lift up one more time. And then slowly, with control, come down. Turn your head in the other direction. Turn your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Relax your legs. And breathe into the back of your body. Bring your chin forwards, hands either side of your chest, lower down towards your ribs if you can. Tuck your toes under, engage the legs, push the heels away, kneecaps up, and you can go straight back to child's pose if you wish, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, pushing up into chaturanga, holding it there for just a few seconds. Squeeze the glutes, belly to spine, push all the way up to plank, drop your knees, toes together, knees wide, extend forwards out of the hips, so you can use your fingertips to lengthen the sides of the torso. Breathe here. And then using your hands, walk yourself back up to kneeling position and come over onto your back. Bring your feet hip distance, feet flat on the floor, lower yourself down. And then we're just gonna roll over the feet, bringing one knee down towards the opposite foot. As you exhale, inhaling back to center, and exhaling, bring the other knee down to the foot, rolling a little bit over the hips and lower back, and just gently stretching the front of the hip flexor on each side. And then just hook your knees in towards your chest, drawing the elbows down and away from your head, drawing your shoulders away from your ears as you do this. And then you can just roll a little bit from side to side if that feels good, massaging across the lower back. And then we'll go into Shavasana, so bring your feet flat on the floor again. Push your elbows down into the floor, lift your chest and draw your shoulder blades deeply underneath your chest to open the front of the body. Bring the palms on the floor, facing up towards the ceiling. Push your feet into the floor, lift your pelvis, lengthen your lower back away from you, and then finally allow your legs to lengthen along the floor. Feet fall out to the side. And close your eyes. Make any final adjustments so that you can be comfortable and still for the next few minutes as we rest in Shavasana. feel the weight of your body being supported by the floor. Feeling the areas of contact between your body and the floor. And also feeling the spaces where your body lifts away from the floor. Maybe at the back of the knees, the lower back, back of the wrists. And then bring your awareness down into your toes, the soles of your feet, and the tops of your feet. Bring your awareness into your ankles, your shins and calves. Bring your awareness into your knees, into your thighs, and into your hips. Feeling the weight of the pelvis releasing down into the floor. And then bring your awareness up through the lower back, middle back and upper back, and into the abdomen, completely relaxing all those abdominal muscles now. Bring your awareness up into the chest, the shoulders, the upper arms, elbows. Bringing your awareness into your forearms, wrists, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the thumb, and each of the fingers. And then bring your awareness up into your neck and head. Feel the contact with the back of your skull on the floor. And relax all the facial muscles, the jaw, the tongue, lower lip, upper lip, nose and cheeks, the eyes, eyelids, eyebrows and forehead. Everything soften, relax, let go. And then bring your awareness to your breathing. Gentle movement of the abdomen. As you inhale, the belly rises. And as you exhale, the belly falls. And if you want to stay in Shavasana for longer, then I invite you to do so. But otherwise, you can start to lengthen the breath again, taking a couple of deeper, longer breaths. And then seeing if you can bring the slightest movement into the toes. Notice what that feels like. And bring that very small, gentle movements into the fingers. And allowing that movement to travel into the feet and hands, the legs and arms. You can stretch your arms up above your head if you like, take a full body stretch. And then when you're ready, draw your legs up and make your way back to a seated position. Sit up straight one last time. Close your eyes, lifting up through the crown of the head, relaxing the shoulders down and back. Either keep your hands resting on your legs or you can bring them into a prayer position in front of your heart. Bow your chin towards your chest. Taking a moment to notice how you feel, perhaps to give thanks to yourself for making the time to practice today. And then raise your head and open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone.